Hello. Hello.
Paul,
Yes, how are you?
very well. How are you?
I'm quite okay.
This is Amos here.
Yes.
Alison from my team is here as well, just making sure that we are set up with Zoom. Where are you dialing in from?
I'm dialing from Kenya.
From Kenya.
Yes.
Fantastic. That's exciting.
So we'll do once your team is ready, we'll do a recording. I'll introduce the channel, then I can do some questions, and then we see how you respond to understand how you came up with the innovation, and then we understand how you are doing in terms of reaching out to different people, and also in terms of involvement of blind fellows, such a thing.
Sounds like a plan. I'm excited to do that. Just give me an idea of how long you want the interview to go on for.
Maybe 30 minutes or 40. It will depend with
Okay.
the way you respond to the questions. It is determined by the person who is being interviewed.
Right.
So I'll just be forced.
Sorry.
A second. Hello.
Yes, I'm with you.
In Baba no yeren giri komi. Eh?
So
In
we are.
In a given chokeria 25.
I think he's on the phone, Amos.
Yeah.
And then
Am I on video, Alison?
Yep, you both are.
Yeah.
What calendar now? 9 a.m. What calendar now? Turn notification. Flashlight off. Camera. Back camera. Back. Calendar. Next turn notification.
You know man, you mwere no menyere.
9 a.m. Friday. Choose 9 a.m. Calendar. Turn notifications. Back.
Oh, sa.
I don't think you need to necessarily be here unless you think that
No, sa ya bwire.
disconnect.
No, I
Like
just
you
want to
like-
get kicked off and then I'll get off.
We have a ton of registrations for
Can't
Corona,
do
right?
it, yeah.
They've been coming in like crazy this morning.
Yeah.
For the demo day or
Yeah.
virtual demo day. Yeah, I know. They've been,
Is it the virtual demo day, the registration?
I'm wira.
yep. Because I sent it to some like VIPs yesterday saying, oh, we're going to announce this on Monday, sort of wanting to let you guys know now. And so people are clearly sharing that.
Oh, right. Okay.
Grace, ile thing kosa ni kirecord.
I've asked Lukey to do the same. So it's
So we
Hapa
have to
niko.
start selling tickets out.
Taylor Swift, Amos. Taylor Swift.
Sababu itaenda
I'm gonna come off as a Swiftie and I'm not even one. Okay,
I
reminder
know.
that you have that interview tomorrow too, just because
I know the Tiffany one. Yeah, it's important. Actually, it's NFB.
yeah, she is diehard. She emails me like 4 times a week. So
Really?
yeah, a lot.
Well, it's important because she is NFB, right?
I don't think she's NFB. No,
What is she doing there?
we met her at CSUN. She lives in the Sacramento area, but she's like president of the something chapter there. And I don't know, but she's a diehard. So
Paul?
Yes, are you ready now?
Or whenever you are, we are here for you, my friend. We do have a hard stop on the top of the hour, though.
One of your colleagues will record since I'll have to remove my. I'm using a JAWS screen reader, so I'll remove my JAWS. I'll unload it. So that now we can start the recording. You're now ready?
Ready.
Okay, once the person recording can tell me 1, 2, 3, then we can start.
Oh, hold on, Alison. Oh,
There you go. You can start now, Paul.
Thank you. Welcome to the top online TV station, Disability Sausage Media, where we reduce ableism in order to include everyone in the society. A platform where we enjoy life just like eating a sausage. In today's episode, I'm having a guest all the way from USA. And first of all, I would like us to really understand that when you talk about technology, we talk about population of persons with abilities, which is the third population after America and China. And these are persons with disabilities who quite need supportive in terms of technology or even assistive devices. And in today's episode, I'm happy to introduce to you one of the founders of innovation. You'll tell us more, and we'll be glad really to share some of this information to our platform and also ensure that many people learn of this latest technology among blind and visually impaired persons. Welcome, Mr. Amos. Kindly introduce yourself.
Paul, thank you very much. It is a pleasure to be here on your show. Really it is, and I am looking forward to a rich conversation about disability and technology and blindness and access and everything. My name is Amos Miller, and I'm the founder and CEO of latst. latst is a company that started about 1.5 years ago with the mission to bring about a new mobility aid that uses autonomous guiding technology to help people like us, people with sight loss, get around more independently and with confidence. So we can dive in and go whichever way you like.
Thank you very much. I can say that nowadays technology is really coming up very strongly, and we are all aware that technology is a greater equalizer for persons with disabilities. First, to begin with, I would like to know what really made you to get interested into this space of technology and disability world.
Okay, that's a good question, Paul. First of all, I love technology, and I fell in love with computers from when I was I think I saw a computer for the first time when I was like 8 or 9 years old. And I fell in love with computers at that point, and I've always been behind the keyboard developing software. I did a computer science degree. I then worked at Microsoft for many years, doing technology in all kinds of spaces, including assistive technology. And part of the reason is that I'm also blind. I lost my sight in my 20s or so. I have retinitis pigmentosa. You may be familiar with that. It's a progressive eye condition, which meant that I lost most of my sight in my 20s. So most of my adult career has been while I'm blind. And over the years, I really, as always, being curious and with wanting to make a difference and solving problems, I really started to get into the question on how technology can make a material difference to us when we are out and about, and help us when help empower us when we are out and about to walk and get around more confidently, but also bring a lot more people with blindness to get out and about. And just to kind of along the way, one of the things I started doing about 10 or 15 years ago is I started to bring tech and nonprofits together. I brought Guide Dog and Microsoft together to explore that question, and that collaboration led to one app that some folks might be familiar with called Soundscape, which is one of the navigation apps that are used by blind people. And from there, I continued to see, okay, we've gone this far. What can we do to help even more with the latest advancements in technology? So that's kind of
Wow,
quick
that's very
summary.
interesting because I'm a soundscape user myself,
Woohoo.
being blind also, and I'm very proud of that. And since you are talking in terms of being involved in terms of the design, and that is a very clear cut telling us that once persons who are blind or visually impaired persons are involved in such a process, you can really make a difference. And now looking at that, and since you're coming from the developed country, maybe you can share with us more about what really is working for you in terms of these technologies, because in the global south, the lower income countries, getting opportunities of persons who are blind or even low vision persons doing computer software, all that is a rare thing. Could you share your experience?
You mean how me as a blind person, how do I get involved in? Did I get involved in technology? And
Yes, because
yeah.
you find that in the low income countries or even in the developing countries, not so many blind persons are involved in terms of technology wise. They take
I
other
would-
courses.
Yeah, I would say that it's, or even in the developed countries, it's not as much as I think there is a possibility for blind people to be involved in technology development. One of my team members here at Glidance, Joel Dodson, actually runs a Python class for blind people, blind developers, to help them understand how to code in Python and how to start building a website and building machine learning algorithms and so forth. There's definitely a long way to go in every part of the world, I think. I mean, I can only really talk to my own experience, that I just loved it from day one when and I think if one of the things I learned from my life and experience is where you have the curiosity and the passion and the interest. I think these days, even with a phone or with we have so much more access today to platform and information and YouTube and so on, that we can start to learn ourselves and learn from others. But all I can really say, Paul, is that it's something that I just couldn't see myself doing anything else, right? I mean, and I also think that engineering, especially software, is a very accessible space, really. Like, you can be a really strong software developer, do some amazing work. I mean, look at JAWS, the tool that you use, right? And that's developed by mostly blind developers. Like, it's a lot more accessible today to get into that field, and I love it. Oh, that's all I can say.
Wow, that's very interesting. And to my another question about the guidance now, since I'm as a program, we normally do a lot of research and try to understand what really came about in terms of guidance. And you have already told us that it's that issue of trying to see autonomous or blind people being independent. To what extent do you think that guidance is coming to solve the problem of mobility to blind and low vision persons?
So, just to clarify a few things. So first of all, just terminology, and I know it gets confusing. Glidance is our company, and we are working at this stage on one product that is called Glide. And Glide is the mobility aid that we are developing that uses AI and robotics to help with navigation. if I just explain briefly what it is, and then maybe I can explain sort of why I think this is so important that we.
Yes, I think you should describe for us what is glide
what-
so that
I'll
our
describe what
viewers
it
can be able
is.
to understand.
Yeah.
And if you have
then,
an example, you can show on the screen too.
What I will suggest to people is to go to my website, latst.io, and there's a good pictures on the screen and a video that helps people to kind of visualize what it is. But as people do that, because if I start doing it now, I'm going to use my screen reader, and it's going to take us time. So
Okay. No one
Yeah,
you can describe for us.
yeah, let me describe it. I think that's more important. So glide, imagine a long handle. You're holding the handle at about waist side, and the handle waist level, and the handle extends at a 45-degree down to the ground, and it rests on two wheels. Okay. These wheels are not tiny wheels. They're about 7 inches in diameter, so about 20 centimeters, probably more, in diameter. So, nice, good wheels for terrain environment. And what happens is that you hold the handle, you start walking forward, and the moment you start walking, the wheels begin to steer. The wheels turn a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right, and they basically guide. Yeah, so it keeps you on the path. If there's an obstacle on the way, a tree, a lamppost, it steers you around that. People are coming along, it'll steer you around them. So it's the important thing here, Paul, is that it physically guides. Okay, it's not something that's giving you information in your ear or haptics on your arms. It physically guides. You walk forward and you follow it. Now, it uses a camera and a bunch of other sensors and capabilities that are built into the device so that it can really have a good field of vision of what's in front of it. Quite a long way out. It has access to maps and information sources that so that it can guide on routes as well. But the key really is that it's a primary mobility aid that physically guides you. I can explain in more detail, but let me pause here and let you just ask any clarifying questions and that.
Maybe you can explain to us whether it detects objects, and in terms of having the map, does it use sound to communicate to the person, or what? Or how does a blind person know that maybe I'm in point A, not point B?
Yeah, so the main way that it guides is by steering. Okay, and I have to keep coming back to that point because it's not about giving the user information to say, oh, there's an obstacle in front of you, be careful, you have to get around it. You wouldn't even know that this obstacle is there. You just walk. Yeah. You can ask, we can have glide. Glide does detect these objects, and we do have a possibility to use voice to inform the person what's going on around there, which obstacle they're going around, or which target they're heading towards. For example, might it be a door, crossing the road, or escalators, or yeah. But it's the primary guidance is through is by the wheels steering. In the handle, we also have a speaker and microphone and haptics in the handle so that the device can communicate with you some additional information. For example, one of the things that I didn't explain is that it's the wheels don't have a morals, so the wheels are not pulling you. Okay, the device is not dragging you around. You're the one who's pushing the device forward. Which means that you can walk at any speed you like. You can walk really slowly, you can speed up, you can go back. You can do whatever you want. The device is not dictating. But it means that sometimes the device needs to tell you, hey, you're going a little bit too fast. We have to slow down because it's getting narrow, or we're about to stop. So that information is passed to the user through the handle, through haptic information. Yeah.
Does it use haptic technology?
Yes, yeah, exactly. So it uses haptics to signal to the user to slow down, or if you need to turn a little bit to the right, it will just turn to the right. But if you have to take a sharp turn, let's say that you are walking in a busy market and you need to get in between two two people or two tables or something, like where it gets really tight, right? So the device might indicate to you, we're taking a sharp right turn, so you know to prepare and to kind of go with the device and follow it. So there is a bit of communication between you and the device to accomplish the tasks. So it's really designed, in some ways, I don't know if you're familiar with the use of a guide dog, but in many ways, the experience of using Glide is quite similar in the way that it guides. Of course, you can communicate with the device for voice and your app and so on. And of course, the device can communicate back with you. So that's a benefit.
Phone call +1 888 528 2011.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm familiar with the guide dog, and some years back, I think, when I was in Australia, I was able to
Try.
practice and have a guide dog.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they are fantastic. I have my own guide dog as well.
Okay.
And so that, which leads me to kind of the question of, why is there a need for a device like this, right? And maybe you want to brainstorm that with me as well. But
Sure.
the reality is that not many people get access to a guide dog. There are a lot of blind people. The great majority of blind people don't even necessarily get access to enough on the orientation and mobility training to be able to be confident when they're out and about, especially people who lose their sight later in life, in later years, right? And that's one of the motivations for my research and the work that we've done to arrive at this solution is the question on how can we get even more people out and about and with confidence, and empower people to get out of their homes, even if you lost your sight in your 50s, the moment your wife and children are helping you to get around, but how do you get to the point that you can go and be more independent? And we know that the canes and the guide dogs are incredible solutions today, but we also know that a lot of people need more help. Guide dogs are not accessible to everyone, and really our goal with Glide is to provide a third option and an alternative for people to choose from.
As you've mentioned, that it's very important also to tell you one of the challenges which we face, especially in the African countries. There is what I call the white cane famine in Africa, whereby blind people don't access white canes. And here we have now Glide. What would you say in terms of access? Because you know that access, availability, affordability. What would you like to tell us about that? Because we know that there are those challenges, maybe in the developed countries where you are currently, and I think in the US, affordability might be much easier. And since you know that we are also moving towards the 21st century in terms of technology, And it is also good that we are not left behind. I would like you to comment about that and also see how we can really work together to see how many more blind people can access to this innovative idea and also solve the problem of mobility and orientation.
You know, the first thing is that we're having this conversation now. We are about a year before we even start to ship this device. It's still in development. We're still making critical decisions. And we decided to have this conversation this early in the cycle in order to ask these questions, talk about it, figure out what it means. So let me just kind of throw back the question at you. When you say a cane famine, what do you mean by that, and what do you see as the cause of it?
Okay, white cane farming, I mean that in the low-income countries like Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, Ethiopia, and other low-income countries, availability of white cane is very rare, and they are not
Why is it
affordable.
rare? Is it
They
the
are not.
cost of
Yeah, they
getting
are.
one, or is it the training, or is it awareness, or all of them?
It's. Let's first of all begin with availability. It's not available. Even the
You
training is
can't buy
wanting.
white canes.
Yeah, we have to buy. We don't have industries which make for us something of the sort. We have maybe to import or get donations here and there. So that's why I'm saying there's a white cane farming in these countries of low-income countries. And sometimes when the people give donation, they don't give the right sizes. So you might get a low quality white cane, and it might also bring problems in terms of maybe back or etc.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I was talking about the white cane farming.
So you're saying there is basically not the services or the access to the tool.
Exactly.
And I mean, it also with the white cane, you have to also learn extensively how to use it. Now, let me ask you another question. Cell phones. Do you think that people are benefiting almost more from cell phones today than they do from the white cane? Or you think it's even more less accessible to people? And the reason I mean, there is a reason I wonder, I'm asking, but like, is a cell phone something that some of the people with blindness do get access to?
Thank you very much for asking that question. One of the things is that what I can tell you that the persons with the disabilities, especially those who have at least gone to school, secondary, at the university level, and the technical colleges, are able to get some funds. But the larger population of the blind and low vision persons are not in schools, and maybe they have not gotten such an opportunity. So you might find that that larger population has no access to maybe phone technology, etc., or even the computer, etc., because we are still developing nation, and sometimes getting this equipment is still an expensive affair. And remember, as we talk about this, why I was asking about that angle of the white cane farming is because it's the oldest technology which many people are still using. And I also wanted to understand how it also combines with Glide, or if it doesn't combine with Glide, how we can really bring this Glide to the low-income countries.
Yeah, oh, that's a great question. First of all, I see Glide as, I'll say that the kind of abstract term, reducing barrier to mobility. I think it's easier to use. I think it can provide more support, and therefore enable people to at least start their confidence in getting out and about. even when they have lower mobility skills. So I think we'll talk about costs and access in a moment, but in terms of, I think it requires less training, which means it requires less support and services, and hopefully empowers people who are not able to get orientation and mobility training immediately, to at least start their mobility. Yeah, I think that's.
Remember, you're watching Disability Sausage Media, the top online TV station where we reduce ableism in order to include everyone in the society. We just enjoy life just like eating a sausage. In today's episode, we are having Amos from Glidance, and he's really giving us many aspects and creating a solution which is really helping us to solve some of the challenges which the blind and low vision persons experience, especially in the area around mobility and orientation. And as Amos, you've just mentioned something very important. If you think that Glide can come and sort out this problem of mobility, don't you think that it's high time that we have it in the market in terms of, because I would like also to understand, does it use internet? Because one of the things which many countries in Africa now are currently doing, they are trying to improve their systems or internet infrastructure so that at least by 2 years' time, most of the places will be highly connected in terms of internet. Does Glide use internet, or can it be used offline?
It can be used offline, but it is benefiting from the internet. So you will need to have periodic access to the internet for various capabilities, including it's an AI system. Some of it runs on the device, some of it is run in the cloud. That it uses the cloud to train new machine learning models and update them on the device and so on. So internet is important, and I think, again, one of the things that I wanted to say, like these ideas are not necessarily new to build these kind of devices. I think what is new is that we can finally have the technology at the consumer price levels that we can actually produce these kind of devices. 5 years ago, we are talking about 5 to 10 times more expensive. So in 5 years, we divided the cost by 5 to 10 times. Imagine where we will be in 5 years' time, right? With the power that you can bring to devices that are being used in the wild, so on the streets, devices that are incredibly powerful, and we already see that in the cell phone world. And now the technologies that are building that are used to build cell phones are getting lower and lower cost and more powerful. And with the more powerful internet that is being available, you can have these devices almost permanently connected. And honestly, Paul, I think that is where the opportunity is, right? I think that's where people who today are unable to obtain a cane, or let alone a guide dog or any kind of assistive support, if we can get a device like this, and I don't know what the price will be in 5 years' time, but I promise you that it will be much more affordable than even what it is today. And I think that's the direction that's the opportunity that we're working to. You may disagree with me, and I want to hear all the thoughts that you have in your mind about it, because that's how we learn. But I really do think that it's time that we have these kind of solutions to help us get around.
I may not have any particular comment about that because personally, as a disability social media, we really try to learn what is happening, the latest information, the latest technology, and we see how we can be able to pass information or create that awareness. And in case innovators would like us to support them in terms of testing and giving feedback, we can be able to do that. And maybe what as you've just said, that the model which you'll decide maybe to come up with in terms of reaching out, because we know that there is a lot of technology which is there. And what happens is that some of it has either bypassed the low-income countries, but we meet ourselves getting to other technologies which maybe we've never gotten such an opportunity. Because I can tell you that most devices, sometimes they're very too much expensive and they're not affordable. But now you find that some solutions are coming up which are really trying to change or bring the cost at least much lower. And the way we've just said that Glide might be also going that route, which it will be very appreciative, because what we know that when you talk about the population or even the persons who are blind or even persons with abilities in general, the 80% of the persons with abilities come from the low-income countries. And we know that due to the poor health infrastructure and lack of quality services, you might find that we much need these devices than even the developing countries. Because maybe for them, they have the infrastructure, or even they might have some of the readily available different unique solutions. So maybe you can tell us more what you think. Have you as you are developing this prototype, did you have in mind about the low income countries?
I do. And in many ways, that's what I talked about earlier, right? About that I do believe that these devices will actually enable many more people to have access to high quality and highly capable or mobility capabilities. Yeah. I think that so I'll say two things. First of all, we are having these conversations right now because I want to engage in conversations with people from all different backgrounds and situations, and the way to do that is we have on our website, you can register with us, and what that gives you when you register is we have monthly Zoom calls with people from all over the world who are dialing in, where we share updates and we take questions and we open conversations that are important for people from different parts of the world. And what I would urge, Paul, is for people to go to our website, latst.io, register with us and join the conversation, first of all. Yeah. Join the discussion, express your views, ask the questions, tell us what are the concerns and the challenges, because that's how we know, sometimes we don't know what questions to even ask.
Absolutely.
And we find that through this engagement, we also have organizations for blindness in different countries that are reaching out and are asking questions, wanting to help. In some cases, we look for ways to send a device. We're not quite ready for that yet, but we work on what we call demo days, where we go to a place, invite people to try the device, talk to people, get feedback. That's how we are, first of all, doing it, to learn. And I think it's really important that we we all take the time to do that in all different environments and countries in the world. Yeah.
Sure. I know that you're also doing a demonstration in Canada soon. And
We
it's a
are.
great opportunity for people in Canada, maybe who watch this Disability Sausage Media, also to know that they can get to know where
21st
you'll
of
be.
21st of 21st of June in Toronto, organized by the Canadian Institute for the Blind, the CNIB. Last month we had our first demo day organized by the Helen Keller Institute in New York, and we're really inviting organizations who can help us put events like that to reach out, register with us online, or drop us a line on gliders@glidance.io, and we can talk about it. So that engagement, I think, is a starting point, right, Paul? What we don't know, we can't solve for. The second thing is that we are definitely looking for ways to make the devices as accessible to people, both from availability as well as pricing. There's a lot of blind people even in the developed world who are unemployed, and access to funds is complicated. We are starting. We are a private startup. We are not a non-profit organization. We are starting to. Our sales are going to be at a full, MSRP price for people who can afford it, so that we can get going. And start getting revenue to fund further development. And from that, we are working very much to find ways and to make this device accessible. I don't want, for us, it's a kind of almost a foundational, if you read our mission statement, we want everyone with sight loss to be able to get out and about, like everyone. The statistics today say that about 3% of people with blindness are able to get out and about. So there is that everyone goal requires access, requires a lot of infrastructure, and that's our mission.
Absolutely. I read that mission, and I was really impressed by it, because I'm a person who believes that blind people should be independent and should be able to at least move by themselves, and also be independent, so that they can be able to enjoy life just like any other person, and be engaged by socially, economically, and as they go on to their activities. And as we move towards the closure of the program, as Disability Sausage Media, we look to work with you this journey, and we hope that you can get more collaborators, so that you can be able to empower many more blind people, so that they can become more independent, because we really look forward towards a situation whereby blind people are able to do anything just like any other person and get engaged. And before I ask you the last question, since it's using AI, and you know that AI has different language models, which one are you currently working on, and how do you see the future of Glide?
I mean, first of all, most of the AI is not language. Most of the AI is computer vision, sensible wayfinding, making sense of the environment so it can guide you safely through. Okay, that's not a language model. That's computer vision.
Sure.
We are working on voice interaction with LLMs. I guarantee to you that by the time we ship, language is not going to be a problem, because these LLMs can talk almost any language. Today, it's more limited, but these languages are just moving as fast as they can. So I don't see in language from the perspective of voice interaction to be a problem next year. You just look at GPT-4o and try to speak with it in your own language, and you see it responds in your own language. Like it's a different. We are in a different world now with languages.
I've asked that question is because you find that in the prior development of some technologies, sometimes while they develop the language part or the voice, they don't mostly consider some languages. And I'm glad that now that Glide will be addressing that, which is absolutely will help many more blind persons to understand, to use even their own language or even some of these things. So we really look forward for that. And towards the last, we normally ask our guests, what do you normally, it's a must carry thing once you move out of your house?
A must carry thing when I move out of my house?
Yes.
Oh my. I mean, of course, it's my phone and my dog, or my phone and my cane are the first things that I look for, right? But I don't think that you are looking for that answer.
Not really yes, a phone, yeah, okay. Now, we really appreciate we appreciate your time for coming on board on Disability Sausage Media, the top online TV station, where we reduce ableism in order to include everyone in the society. And one way of reducing ableism is to provide solutions such as Glide, and we are very glad that we are doing it. Maybe before we close, you can have your closing remarks or your caption.
Yeah, I would say this is an inevitable future. I am confident that within within the next 5 to 10 years, there will be many more blind people out and about. Some will be using canes and dogs as they do today, but many will be using some form of intelligent guides, physical devices that help us get around. I don't think it's going to be stuff that you wear on your head, but maybe. And I think it'll really be a revolution for transformative for the blind and low vision community with our confidence and ability to get out and about. And I think that as a community, as organizations, as individuals, as a society, we have an opportunity to start getting ready for that, figure out what this means. And we are proud at Glidance to help move this conversation forward. And again, I urge people to go to the website glidance.io and get part of the conversation if this is of interest to you. And I thank you very much, Paul, for the ability to talk with you and engage with the community.
Remember to subscribe Disability Sausage Media, the top online TV station where we reduce ableism in order to include everyone in the society. A life where we enjoy eating a sausage. Kindly subscribe and let's meet in the next episode. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you, Paul.
Has he stopped recording?
We will stop recording and get you the recording, okay?
Sure. I hope that you have enjoyed the session.
I have enjoyed the session very much, and I appreciate your questions. These are not simple questions. There's no simple answers. No simple answers here. And all we can do is work together. And
I did my homework.
You did a great job. Thank you.
And I've also subscribed.
When do you anticipate to air this?
When you are ready, when you send it over through WeTransfer.
Okay, yeah, Alison will take care of the WeTransfer for you, okay, and we'll send it across to you.
Yes.
All right, my friend, please keep in touch, okay?
I look forward and I hope that one day we can get the glide over here or where I'll be.
You know, my first project when I worked in Microsoft back in 2007, I came to Tanzania for 6 weeks
Wow.
to do a technology research project. I really enjoyed my time, and I remember that time as a very humbling experience, to say the least.
Wow.
And I look forward to doing that more.
Sure.
All right.
Thank
Take care.
very
It's late
much.
where you are, right? What time is it?
Now it's very early. It's in the evening, almost 8.
Right. Here it's 10 to 10 in the morning. My
Oh, yeah.
parents are visiting me, and I look forward to spending the day with them, but I wanted to have this conversation with you.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate your time.
Okay, take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Dismiss button, micro left arrow, select parent. Dismiss button to activate, press. One micro left arrow, select click. Dismiss button to activate. One micro left arrow, select text. Snooze button to activate, press. Dismiss all button to activate, forever. Microsoft Outlook dialog. Are you sure you want to dismiss all user micros? Yes button to activate, press. No button to activate. Don't show this message again. Yes button to activate, forever. Zoom meeting information button. Split sound tip for JAWS dialog. A new feature will use L4. Zoom meeting information button. AI features are enabled. Silent button. Music currently unmuted. Alt plus A button. Audio settings button menu. Stop my video. Alt plus B button. Video settings button menu. Share screen. Alt plus F12.